Guys, it's SJ. I hope you're having a really good day. I'm going to do a little update on Finn's speech delay and his speech therapy and how it's going. There's been some massive changes, even in the therapy, which is now finished. So yeah, he has finished speech therapy, not through choice or because he doesn't need it, but through circumstance. But there's also some really interesting good news, really interesting crazy stuff that's been going on in Finn's little world. Okay, Finn, you do some drawings?
I want to go again.
What do you want, Finn? So yeah, I'm going to do this video with Finn, but he's out at the playground at the moment, and I wanted to chat first, like without him in earshot, about his troubles and the last couple of months and what we've been going through. So when he started school, he couldn't say his own name still. I was really struggling with the whole speech delay issue. I felt very ashamed of it. I felt like because it's not something that people understand, there's no root cause for it, even though I do have a theory for Finn. People then think it's like environmental. What did I do wrong? What have you done wrong? You know, and really there's taken me a long time to realise that not even interested in doing that anymore, because there probably was a reason, but I can't blame myself. I've got 2 other children and they don't have a speech delay. But not being able to talk to your child and not hearing your child say mummy, and not being able to leave your child's side, and the amount of energy and effort that goes into this constant focus and attention on just stopping the tantrums through listening, through watching every word he's saying. I had to look him in the face. I had to reply back to him so he knew that I'd understood what he was saying. You know, I was the only one, so I was subtly translating all the time, like, that's right, Finn, we did go there, so that other people could talk to him. You want some milk? Yeah? You got some slugs?
Finn, you can't see me. You can't see me because I'm hiding behind everything. Yeah.
It was a very strong thing, and exhausting for him as well. It must have been absolutely exhausting for him. He has turned though into possibly the most loving and compassionate person ever, and I'm sure it's because he's been locked in for so long with speech communication. He was chatty at home but not so chatty out of the home. He would just be quiet, engaged, like up and active and joining in, but he didn't use words to communicate. He used all physical things that you could do. So he almost has this lovely physical language about him, and he's very aware of other people's kind of feelings and their physical feelings. And if there's a child who's a bit sad, or somebody who's unhappy in a group, or somebody who feels like a bit isolated, I've noticed, and everyone's noticed, that Finn will go straight to them and spend time with them. And there's a little boy who recently started in his class from another country, and Finn said to me, and Finn won this big headmaster's award for showing such kindness to this little boy, because he doesn't leave his side. He just took him under his wing and helped him all the time. And it breaks my heart, because sometimes this little boy is like, you know, sometimes he's like, oh, he kicked me today, or he pushed me, or he shouted no at me when I tried to go and help him. And it's really hard to hear, because I'm like, Finn, sometimes maybe you're overwhelming this person with your sort of want to make his life easier. And he said to me, well, he speaks a different language like I used to. And it just really breaks your heart, because you're like, you didn't speak a different language, you just didn't have any words. And I love the fact that that's come out in empathy. And yeah, like, we laugh all the time at how Finn is with this little boy, because he's literally so cute and adorable. And yeah, he won this big award for it. And then his school, I thought school was going to be a torturous time for him. What's happened is his private speech therapist has been going in and doing 45 minutes with him, and we were told we were also going to get state funded speech, because his speech is still marked as moderate to severe. Yeah. But we're not going to get access to that, because they've said it's not affecting him enough. Basically, he's very sociable still. He's, you know, getting on and things in the classroom. So it means that we're not going to get any state-funded speech therapy, which is kind of crazy, considering like what. So it has to be that they're really failing in life to get the help. Like, he has a severe marked severe speech issue. And we've also been told that as peer groups get older, so as he gets more into year one, in just a few months, end of this year, that children can start to be a little bit more picking up differences a bit more. At the moment they're babies, they're 4 and 5, and they're so gentle with each other, you know, they're just little, they play alongside each other, not so much forming those groups yet, but developmentally they'll start to behave differently. So they are flagged that to me as a concern, that the peer thing might start to become a real issue for him. Oh, that would be like, I don't know how I would cope with that. Luckily he's so sociable and outgoing, he has made lots of friends, and he's really pushed himself. Basically he started school with the attitude of, I am going to show these people what I can do, and I'm not going to let my speech hold me back. So I was taken aside, this is the crazy news, by his teacher, and who told me that because Finn is on a strong speech and language therapy target, that they're not going to set him any educational targets. So he's an SEN, special educational needs child, and those are enough targets for him, no educational ones. I didn't even realise that, but I didn't care, because I'm not somebody who cares about targets and education anyway. I just think everyone should just go at their own speed and not judge themselves, especially at reception. But she was like, do you want me to set him educational targets? And I was like, well, he could be set then, because, you know, it's not exactly like it's affecting his, you know, there's no learning difficulty there. It's literally his speech is impacted by not being able to move his mouth and make these words. She was like, I'm glad you said that. And just sort of went off, and I was like, okay. And I rang Henrik and was like really emotional, and I was like, I think that we've got something interesting with Finn, and something that's maybe just going to really surprise us all. So Finn had done absolutely zero work before he started school. I hadn't done anything with him, like no phonics, no writing, no maths, no nothing, because we were just focusing on speech and play and being kids. That's just how I am. But he got into school, we went for his parents' evening, and his teacher said to us that Finn is literally working at extra depth, which is like how they judge it here. So you're like working towards the expected level for your age, working at extra depth, and you had to have like 3 signs of working at an extra depth level in the subject to prove that you're working at that level, and he had loads. She was like, apparently he's working like a year ahead in maths. Even his writing was at extra depth, like extra level, like unbelievable. Like his spelling is unbelievable. Like he will be like, is that E as in cup of tea, like EA? And I'm like, that's quite a tough thing for a little kid. Like he's not spelling phonetically, maybe because he can't, maybe because the phonics side of thing is the only thing, his reading, where he's not working extra depth because they can't understand his speech. So it's almost like he's just channeled everything else into these other subjects, and they realised that he also, when working in the groups, just takes on this role of caregiver again and was helping the others. So I just literally cannot believe it. I feel like he's been locked in himself for so long and unable to share or shine outside of anywhere, because he couldn't communicate, and he just had his body to do that with. And now he's got maths, and now he's got writing, and he's got so many awards. His school, I have to say, I wasn't sure what to do about school. I wasn't sure whether to homeschool or special school, or he's not in a, you know, his school is not known for being a great school. They're a good school, Ofsted, but even in our area, it's like not the best one, but it's the one that our hearts really fell in love with when we moved to this area. We were like, that school just seems right for us. It's such a kind place. The teachers, I've never met such kind people. Like, they're so caring, and they've spotted Finn and they've gone, yeah, we're going to do this with him, like we're not going to leave him behind. And they gave him this Warrior of the Week award, where he got to stand up in the whole of assembly, and they just said, for overcoming personal challenges and giving your all in everything and never giving up. And I just think a school that will reward that over any academic achievements, and all of their awards are all about that, being great role models and stuff. So it's just been an incredible, I don't know, it's sort of still sinking in, and I don't feel like, oh, guess what, my son was this hidden genius. because I've read those stories. I remember I read a book and it was about all these struggles, and I was really relating to this woman, and then it was like, and then he turned out to be this nuclear scientist, and I was like, oh great, well what about us who have the special educational needs who aren't the geniuses? Like, is that like, can we not have that story as well? So I don't want to be like, guess what, I think that he's just tried so hard. I think he's got an aptitude for maths, but I guess it will all level out over the next few years. And my oldest child, if you watch my old video, I will link it below, about his education that's been totally different. But I feel like he's got this strength of character and this belief in himself and this passion to do well and show others that he can do anything he sets his mind to. I can see that steely side of him within him, to achieve and to overcome and to believe in himself. He's got so much self-belief, and I think it's going to take him further in life than these early issues. He will speak, he will get there, and I think that these early speech issues in a way are going to be the making of him. It's going to make him the loveliest person. He probably will get a job in some sort of care capacity. I can just imagine it, like either maybe a teacher or working with kids or working with animals. I can just see this not now as a negative, now as a one of his bricks to on the path of him, and one of the things that makes him who he will end up being and who he already is, which is perfect just the way he is, but surprisingly smashing it. So yeah, very, very strange year, very proud year, and let's say hi to the little man himself. We're gonna play Yahtzee, aren't we? What's your favourite game?
Yahtzee.
Do you know how many sounds you had when you started speech therapy, Finn?
No.
Guess how many?
How? 2.
2 sounds! A year ago, and now how many sounds do you think you have?
20.
At least 20. All of them, nearly. What did you used to do in speech therapy?
Play games.
Yeah. And who did you do your speech therapy with?
Jenny. But Jenny knows. But Jenny actually knows English.
She knows a bit of English, doesn't she?
No.
Shall we talk about you though? And everyone, what was it like when you started school and you didn't know how to say all the words?
I know he understands me. Yeah. Then I said something for Mother a long time. She said, I don't understand you.
And how did that make you feel?
I don't know.
Did you feel happy or angry or sad?
Okay.
You felt okay. You're a very strong person, aren't you? Did you just go, I don't care? But how does it
No, I said, that's fine.
That's fine. Good. So, what was the best bit about speech therapy?
Doing games.
And was there anything bad about speech therapy?
Doing some words.
Doing some of the words. They were a bit hard, but we made it quite fun, didn't we? Do you remember we used to go, hey, everyone's listening to Finn? We used to have an audience, didn't we, when we did it? And then we liked it.
Oh.
But now everyone understands Finn. And yeah! And you're reading really well, aren't you? And you're writing. How's your phonics?
You're not doing phonics, okay?
Didn't do phonics today. Yeah, but his...
So I will roll and see what I get.
You roll and see what you get. But I mean, I just can't believe it. Like, September is not that long ago, and literally Finn had 2 sounds. 2, g, and maybe d. And you couldn't say your own name. And we really struggled to understand him as a family as well. But hear him now, and that's with the dedication of the speech therapist. Speech therapy really is incredible. Like, I didn't spend hours and hours with Finn outside of the speech therapy to get him to this level. It just almost had to unlock and come from within him, and that desire in within him. So we're going to play some Yahtzee. I just really am proud of Finn, and I just wanted to share a good positive speech therapy news story. If you're struggling, you're at the beginning of this, I hope this just makes you feel full of hope and full of you know, determination just to get in that system, just to do it. As I said, he won't get speech therapy now because his private speech therapist has actually left the job for a while for personal reasons. At the moment is a bit like keeping it going and not making sure we go backwards, but also just the conversational speech. And a lot of George Ezra helps, doesn't it? I'll be riding
shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like someone.
Yay! George Ezra helps with the rhythm, so thank you, George Ezra, for helping Finn to speak. And we're just super proud. And thank you guys for all of your support. Any more questions you have, put them in the comments below, and we'll see you in our next video. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of
8, 9, 10.
10 dice. Right, can you say bye, guys?
Bye, guys.
Say thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
And say my mummy is like bestest.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, my mommy is like a racist.
Oh, thanks.